So let's talk about Fanatics for a little bit. When Fanatics talks about when Luber comes on, you even hear Ruben talking
Mhm.
about what they want to bring to the marketplace in the future. What are some of the things that go to your mind when it's about cars that are not sports related, or bringing athletes closer to people, or the connection with local card shops? What do you think?
Well, the first thing I liked when Fanatics came in is that now we mean business. They don't have experience in the trading card industry. They have experience in the memorabilia and other stuff. So it gives a you know, fresh perspective on what can come out. Now, I was a little bit disappointed that they just bought Tops. I was hoping that they would sell, kind of offer Tops, Panini, and Upper Deck. You know what? I'll sell you the rights to print cards. You can only print X amount every year, X amount of brands, and make it, competitive for the hobby
Yeah.
because they have the IP rights for everything.
Hmm.
A second theory I had when it first came out is that they might buy Upper Deck because they have a relationship with Upper Deck in terms of memorabilia,
Yes.
but that didn't happen too. Now, buying Tops, I think is a good thing because Tops, quality wise on their cards, they do a great job printing cards. We'll probably see refractors back again.
Oh
I
yeah.
just don't know how the retired players fall into place in terms of is Tops able to acquire autographs of retired players. Obviously, Upper Deck has Jordan and LeBron still, even after this.
Hmm.
So we won't be seeing that. But I know Panini has certain players exclusive. Are they
Yes.
able to sign now with Tops? I don't know that part of the agreement. What's going to happen there? So if Kobe was still alive, I know Kobe had a lifetime agreement with Panini, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
yes, he did.
So what would happen to things like that? I only focus on basketball, so another question I had is Duncan going to sign again? Because Duncan used to have a agreement with Tops, and that affects the scarcity of his autos. Now, I like the acquisition because Panini is starting to overdo all the colors.
They are.
It's just too much.
Yeah.
It's
The
just too much.
variations, the number of cards of one particular player. Yes.
It's nice that you have to. I've been a set chaser before, but chasing 30, 40, 50 colors, that's too much.
Good.
And it's being used, I think, improperly, not only by the manufacturer, but also by the people buying and selling. Um,
Well, even when we talk about one on ones, the amount of one
mhm,
on ones that are in the marketplace.
yep.
Yeah.
And, I have a Luca Fast Break Blue PSA 10 rookie. And whenever I show it to people, oh, that's just the fast break. The blue is better, the regular one. But it doesn't make sense. It's the same design, it's the same color.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for me, it's the same eye appeal, unless it's the crack ice.
Yeah.
But I sold the Blue Optic Luca PSA 10. It went for I think 33 when I sold it. It peaked at 44 on eBay.
Okay.
Then I have that's out of 49,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a pink out of 25, and it's not even getting 10 grand.
Yeah. And
So
those who are listening in with cards, there are some things that are not logical or linear that can
mhm.
happen with the print run of a card, the look of a card, the price of a card.
So at the end of the day, I'll still go with the lower numbered.
That's what I usually do.
hmm
I do the same thing.
Nowadays I'm always in the hunt for out of 10, out of 5, one of ones.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, everybody's getting comp heavy, and forgive me for saying this, I don't like people who are very comp heavy because comps can be manipulated.
They
That's
can.
one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, not because one sold for $500, that doesn't mean that's the real price. The seller might be desperate; he needs immediate money and took $500, even though the card's worth 1,000. I've seen
This
that
is true.
happen.
This
You
is
know,
true. Yep.
so how I used to do it with eBay, you get the highest comp, you get the lowest comp of at least 5 listings, knock off the highest, knock off the lowest, average the three. That's more or less a guide of what the price of the card will be. But same with patches, you can have a comp, but the patch is different. There's certain aspects that will drive the value of a card more. and comps is just a guide for me.
Yes.
I was dealing with this person from Chicago, and we did probably a $12,000 deal.
Okay.
None of us looked at comps for every single card that we traded.
So what? Okay. Okay. So let's walk through this, huh? Because I really want to get your opinion. Just walk through at a high level how you determined the value of the cards that were involved without consulting a comp.
Um, I guess I bought and sold so many over time.
You kind of right?
Hmm.
Okay.
And the first thing always is the grade. You know, you yourself, you saw the Scoring Kings, you saw the Curry Auto. You know already
Yeah.
what cards are hard to grade.
Yes, sir.
And for me, that's the number one thing you need to consider. If you see something that graded high, especially if it's a PSA, whether it's pop 1 or pop 50, you know that even if you send another card you see in the market, it's probably not going to jump.
That's right. So that's why when people tell me, well, FD, sometimes you want to watch out for the low pop PSA 10. But
Hmm.
if I know that that card, I'm looking at the card's acetate, or there's something else about that card that's hard to grade,
Hmm.
then I'm making a decision if there's only pop 3 of it. I'm still
Yep.
making a decision because in the future, it's going to be hard to replicate the grade that I'm seeing in front of me.
Yep. Especially nowadays. Before the pandemic, my gem rate with PSA was 80%.
Okay.
Today, my gem rate is 20%. And nothing has changed except for the value of the cards. So I also noticed being a preferred grader for PSA, when a player is hot, it's harder to get the good grades.
Interesting.
You know. So right now, you send the Luca rookie Prism, you probably have a higher gem today than before. And my son noticed that there's been a lot of LeBron Topps Chrome that's been crossing to PSA 10 from 9.5. You know, so because the card used to be what 44 grand at PSA 10, now it's like 88,
That's right.
8800. You know, there's still value, but you know, there's so much out there. So that's another key when I buy cars. I don't buy cars that I know I'm going to see tomorrow.
I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. That's kind of the thing that I'm looking for when I'm looking for cars and I'm out and about. I go to a show. I'm looking for something that I have not seen before or something I've done research on. You know, you have those cars that you've researched, but you've
Hmm.
never seen in person.
Yep.
And then you come across it. And there are some, I want people to know that there are wins before everybody starts talking about a car.
Yep.
There's a lot of wins out there. If you can acquire that card at a good price before I always say the lens of the hobby is on it, that's a win to me.